All right, I've been focusing on this, and it's one thing for economists to sort of take a look at this 3.25 million Americans filing for jobless claims and call it an anomaly, and that this will be maybe the usual pace of events in the next few weeks or months. That might very well be so. But for the Treasury Secretary in an interview on CNBC to say earlier that, to be honest with you, I just think that these numbers right now are not relevant, whether they're bigger or smaller in the short term. Well, Mr. Secretary, they are relevant to those people. Those are 3.25 million Americans who don't have jobs anymore. Now, you might look at them as an aberration or whatever, but they matter to those people because you know what? They don't have jobs. All right. I want to bring Charlie Gasparino into the mix right now. You know, Charlie, I don't want to belabor the point, but tone is everything. And I think that's a very dismissive, condescending, just a dumbass tone. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it is just horrible. I mean, listen, the tone of the Trump administration early on was to downplay the pandemic fears, to basically say that people shouldn't, worry about it, to go out and do what they're doing. That has changed. Listen, I think just structurally, economically, what they're doing now is a very good thing. It is the exact opposite of what they did prior, after the 1929 crash, and a lot of better and some of the stuff that Obama did. It's the opposite of that, which, as you know, the Obama recovery was a very weak one. You know what happened after the 29 crash when they raised taxes, hiked interest rates and all that. So they're doing some good stuff. But, this reminds me of this is where people who live in glass houses, Mnuchin's a long-time Wall Street guy. His father was a Wall Street guy. I've been having a debate with someone over my comments about selling some of your stock. I made this comment a month ago in late February. If you rode up the market, I said, amid this major uncertainty, it's now a good time to take some cash. And I was talking to average people who may need a cash cushion. Well, guess what? They really need one now because a lot of those average people could be out of work right now. And I think when you speak from the ivory tower, you actually, you don't know how average people live. And I think right now, listen, this is a good start. Let's hope it works. Let's hope the loans to small businesses allow them not to shut down, maybe keep some of their staff. But I will say this, the markets are up today. They were up yesterday. Remember, the initial reaction to TARP and all the bailouts was very positive in the markets. Then reality set in again, just how deep the recession was going to be. And, between the time you did TARP, late 2008, and the time the market settled the bottom, I think that was March 2009, the Dow was at 6,000. A lot of economic distress happened. So remember, this could keep going back and forth. Again, great start. I will say this, though, Neil, a couple of things talking to my Wall Street sources. Number one, the fourth quarter GDP print was not great. Economy looked like it wasn't bad, but it was 2.1% is about where it was during the Obama years. Clearly, the trade war that Trump engaged in was a drag on the economy. So we're going into this with an economy that's not going gangbusters. We are in a recession right now. There's no doubt. Every Wall Street source I speak to, I can't tell you how deep we're in it. Can't tell you when we're going to come out. I can tell you that the consensus on Wall Street is third and fourth quarter. We could, if this virus dissipates by the summer, at least, we could be coming out of it in the third and fourth quarter, plus all the stimulus. The other things I would say is, again, lots of people selling stocks still. There's still a lot of Wall Street guys worried that we'd have another leg down here in the market. So just be careful. That doesn't mean you don't dip your toe in. Bill Ackman says,
and you can look at some of the cures that you're looking at and some of the stimulus to improve things, but you got to choose your words very carefully and be aware that 3.25 million, they're human beings. They're people who now are desperately looking for something.
Yeah, the problem we have is a lot of people don't know what it's like to be working class. Listen, my old man was out of work through the 70s. I mean, I know what it's like when your dad is on unemployment. I don't think Mr. Mnuchin does.
We just have to be careful. Charlie, thank you very much. We'll have more after this.